Hello, good morning, boys and girls. Today we will be talking about the American Revolution. I'm Ms. Castillo.
Miss Orozco.
Miss Bautista.
And pay close attention because we will be asking you a question. Ms. Orozco?
Why do you think people might have a big disagreements or fights?
So we're gonna give you guys some time to discuss with your peers, with your partner, and we'll talk about it right now when you guys are done with your 2 minutes. Okay, thank you. So now does anybody want to share what they discussed with their partner? Yes, that's great. Awesome. Okay.
Now that we have discussed why people disagree with each other, we're going to learn what caused the American Revolution.
Pay close attention because we will be watching a video, and after the video we will be discussing and working on a worksheet. Now let's watch the video.
Okay, so now that we're done watching the video and we've learned a little bit about what the American Revolution is, now we're gonna do a worksheet. So take out your scissors and your glue because we're gonna be doing an activity where you have to cut and paste, but we're gonna be doing it together.
And also get out your journals, and we're gonna go ahead and pass out the worksheets. And on the worksheets, we do have several squares that you have to cut. Make sure that when you receive the worksheet, you cut them. And those are the squares that you're going to be pasting on the worksheet and on the journal.
Okay, so now we're going to discuss what the timeline of the American Revolution. So first, we're going to start with 1763. And if you can find the piece of that goes in your worksheet for the timeline, we're going to be putting them in order. So here we have the English beat the French and the Indian War against France.
Now we have 1773. The settlers made a boycott. They threw the tea off the boat and called it the Boston Tea Party.
Now 1775, the war started. Now 1776, George Washington was a commander and won on July 4th.
In 1781, the USA had won several battles.
Hi everyone, my name is Mrs. Santa Maria, and today we're going to be talking about the key figures and the roles in the American Revolution. So to start with, we have our founding fathers. We have George Washington, who was the first commander in the Continental Army. He was also the first president. He played a crucial role in kind of establishing the presidency for the United States as we know it now. We also have several other presidents that were included in this Great War. We have Thomas Jefferson, who wrote the Declaration of Independence. We have Benjamin Franklin, who you might recognize on the $100 bill. Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence, and Benjamin Franklin helped co-write it. We also have Patrick Henry, who is one of the, he was just another founding father. But he so famously said, "Give me liberty or give me death," during a speech at the Virginia Convention. Lastly, we have King George III, who was a great king of Britain. During his reign, he fought many wars, such as the French and Indian War, as mentioned. He had a very Napoleonic view, which means he was kind of mean and wanted to rule everything. He was a tyrant, meaning, he didn't want anyone to not follow his orders. So that was who we fought for our freedom.
Alright, hello everyone. My name is Mrs. Moody, and following Mrs. Santa Maria's lesson, we're going to pick up on the events that happened in between the timeline. So starting off with 1763, when the English beat the French in England War against France, which is also known as the 7 Years' War, which took place between 1756 through 1763, which was a global conflict that spanned 5 continents, so it was known in America as the French-Indian War. Jumping to 10 years later, which happened was the Boston Tea Party. This was a political protest that occurred on December 16, 1773 at Griffin's Wharf in Boston, Massachusetts. It was when American colonists were frustrated and angry at Britain for imposing taxation without representation, dumped 342 chests of tea imported by the British East India Company into the harbor. After that, it was when the war started in 1775, which is also known as the U.S. War of Independence. It was an insurrection fought between 1775 and 1783. After that, in 1776 was when George Washington became the commander. It was on June 14th when Congress resolved to create a Continental Army, which the following day they then decided to make Washington as a new commander-in-chief. The reason they chose him was because of his personal integrity, military experience, and hero status all contributed to his selections. Jumping to 1781 was when USA had already won several battles. They had won several battles by then that helped them lead them to victory. Some of these battles included were the Battle of Cowspin, Battle of Yorktown, and the Battle of Guilford Courthouse.
Hi everyone, my name is Miss Ibarra, and following what Mrs. Moody said, right now we have already learned up until this point what the American Revolution is, some key figures, the timeline of events that led up to it. And now we are going to be playing a quick game of Kahoot, which will include 5 questions. The students are going to be able to be in teams or solos, so if y'all want that, just let us know. Majority vote will win. And then once we have finished, we'll go over each question, and that would conclude our lesson.